Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Piland. Thank you for joining us. Now, I was doing research about a company that I never heard of before called the Jokin Video Network after I noticed that the last episode I did also had a copyright claim on it as well. But it turns out I wasn't alone. In fact, there were other people who have also had that same problem too. Of course, the good news is it turns out the company wasn't necessarily real. However, because at the time that it was filed, that not many people have realized it, people have just left it alone. And that's kind of my theory on that one episode that I did. Not the one that I had to remove, but the most recent one. However, the one change I do want to make is that it will be removed at least 1 month from the time that it aired. So I'll make it clear on that. But at least the good news is there's no point in answering whether or not you acknowledge it or not, because that's not necessarily what's important. Rather, what's important is that everyone is aware of what's going on. And, things have changed since then. I can't say they haven't, because they have. It's one of those things that you think about every day. There's one story that I've been thinking about this one woman who was arrested for a rental that she made back in 2005. Even though the video store was out of business, she still had a warrant out for arrest based on that. Well, it turns out the owner didn't want it prosecuted, but the police didn't know it at the time. So they decided to drop the charge against her. Because video stores aren't really in business, it's a rare crime now, as opposed to what life would have been like back then. When businesses make mistakes, things can happen. I remember when Blockbuster ran out of business in Abilene, to say the least. Many of its stores were also out of business because a lot of people went to Redbox during it. I think about it every day. Why do it when you can just buy them at Walmart? And by the way, the movie they were talking about was the Jennifer Lopez movie. I don't think too much about it. I mean, it's just these things happen. And there are some things that even I can't figure out myself. When you think about it, it's something you normally wouldn't want to talk about to anybody else, because they probably wouldn't understand it by the time they heard about it, because a lot of people thought it was ridiculous, and I would agree to an extent. There are some crimes that used to be crimes but not anymore, because the video stores just quit doing business like that. I mean, why would she not have received the letter anyways? What if she had moved out afterwards? What if she returned it and they didn't receive it? That's just one thing you have to think about. Yeah. Now, some things you don't generally want to think about, but you think about them anyways, because that's pretty much what they would talk about on TV. And I did research on a story that was about a girl that was selling Girl Scout cookies in front of a store that sells marijuana. They decided to ask her to come back because those cookies were a hit. And while not everybody likes it, at least it's positive feedback. That's pretty much all it could ever be. Thank you for watching.